Good morning. I'm so glad you're here for another episode of the Morning Ride Stories, the little show that keeps you company on your way to school. Whether you're in the car, on the bus, or walking with your family, I hope you're ready for something special today. Our story is called The New Girl from Another Country. It's all about a day when someone new arrives at school, a girl from a faraway place, and how one simple act of kindness can change everything. Are you ready? Let's begin. Sunnybrook Primary School always looked brightest in the mornings. The playground shone with soft golden light, the swings squeaked cheerfully, and the chatter of excited kids filled the air. But today, something felt different, like everyone sensed that something new was about to happen. Henry noticed it the moment he walked through the gate. Teachers stood a little straighter, students whispered in small circles, and even the school's friendly cat, Mr. Boots, strutted around like he had big news to share. Henry adjusted his backpack and looked around curiously. Why's everyone acting like it's a holiday? He wondered. Then he heard Mrs. Thompson, his teacher, call out to a group of students. Remember, everyone, today we welcome a new classmate. Be kind. Being new can feel scary. Ah, that explained the excitement. Henry hurried toward his classroom, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious new student. Inside, his friends Lily and Marcus were already buzzing with speculation. I heard she's from India. That's really far from here, Lily said, brushing her curly hair from her face. Marcus nodded. Do you think she knows about peanut butter sandwiches? What if they don't have peanut butter sandwiches in India? Henry wasn't sure what peanut butter sandwiches had to do with anything, but he was curious too. He had never met anyone from another country. Well, unless you counted his cousin who moved from Toronto, but that didn't seem very far away at all. Before they could wonder any further, Mrs. Thompson walked in holding a girl by the shoulder. The class fell quiet. This, she said warmly, is Anika. She has just moved here from India. Let's give her a big Sunnybrook welcome. The girl stepped forward shyly. She wore a neat blue dress and clutched a small notebook to her chest like it was a shield. She gave a tiny wave, almost hidden behind her dark braided hair. Hello, she murmured, her voice soft but melodic. Some students waved back, others just stared, unsure what to make of her. Henry felt that same nervous, curious flutter he got when meeting new people. He wanted to smile, but the moment passed too quickly. Anika, Mrs. Thompson said, you may sit, right next to Henry. Henry's heart skipped. He sat up straighter as Anika walked slowly toward the empty desk beside his. She placed her notebook down carefully, like it was fragile. When she finally looked at him, Henry gave a small smile. She returned it, just barely, but then looked away again. The school day began, but Henry couldn't stop noticing how quiet Anika was. She listened to every instruction, nodded politely, and wrote neatly in her notebook. But she didn't raise her hand. She didn't speak to anyone. When kids glanced her way, she pulled her braid over her shoulder like it could hide her. Henry wondered if she was shy or scared, or maybe just tired after moving across the world. He imagined how he would feel if he suddenly had to go to a school where everyone looked and sounded different from him. Probably terrified. By the time art class began, the air smelled like crayons and glue sticks, a familiar smell that always made Henry feel safe. Mrs. Thompson announced that everyone would draw something from their home, anything that made them feel proud of where they came from. The room erupted into motion. Crayons rolled, markers clicked, paper fluttered. Henry began drawing his backyard treehouse, the one his dad helped him build last summer. Lily drew her grandmother's garden. Marcus drew a giant skyscraper, because he said that's where his imagination lived. But Anika, she drew something unlike anything Henry had ever seen. Her paper filled with bright colors, orange, red, gold, and deep green. Tall mountains rose in the background, dotted with tiny houses painted blue and yellow. In the front was a group of people wearing beautiful clothes with swirling patterns. One girl in the center wore a flowing dress with shining embroidery. "That's beautiful," Henry whispered without meaning to. But not all the kids reacted the same way. A few students across the room tilted their heads and frowned. "What's with all the colors?" one boy whispered loudly. "Are those costumes?" another girl giggled. Henry felt a sting in his chest. Anika heard them. He could see her fingers tighten around her crayon. She didn't say a word, but she quietly pulled her paper a little closer to her chest. Henry wanted to tell those kids to stop, but the words got stuck. He felt frustrated with himself. Why was it always so hard to speak up at the right time? At lunch, things didn't get easier. While everyone opened sandwiches, pasta, or chicken nuggets, Anika slowly unwrapped something from a small steel container. The moment she opened it, a warm, spicy aroma drifted into the air. Something rich, like roasted vegetables and fragrant rice. Henry thought it smelled great, but a few kids nearby raised their eyebrows. "What is that?" someone whispered. "It smells weird," another muttered. Henry watched as Anika's shoulders drooped. She didn't look up. She just ate quietly, scooping small bites with her spoon. For a moment, Henry remembered the time he brought leftover fish stew to school and everyone teased him about the smell. He'd wanted to crawl under the table. His mom told him later that food from home was nothing to be ashamed of. But back then, he hadn't believed her. Now he understood exactly how Anika felt. He knew he couldn't just sit there and do nothing. He wanted to be kind, but he also didn't want to say the wrong thing. What if she didn't want company? What if he embarrassed her? But then he thought of how lonely she looked. Henry took a deep breath and quietly placed his lunch tray across from her. Anika looked up in surprise. "Can I sit with you?" Henry asked gently. She nodded slowly. "Okay." He smiled, hoping it made her feel even a little better. At first, they ate in silence. Henry wasn't sure how to start a conversation, so he pointed to her drawing notebook, which she had placed beside her steel lunch container. "I liked your picture," Henry said, "the one with the mountains." Anika looked at him carefully, as if checking whether he meant it. She finally said, "Thank you. It's the place I lived before I moved here. It's called Himachal. There are lots of mountains and festivals." "It looked amazing," Henry said. "I've never seen anything like that." Anika's eyes brightened a little. "Do you draw?" Henry shrugged. "Sort of, but mostly tree houses." She giggled, a small musical giggle that surprised him. Tree houses are fun. Encouraged, Henry asked more questions. Slowly, like a door gently opening, Anika shared stories about her old school, where students learned dance on Fridays, about the colorful houses in her neighborhood, about her grandmother who made sweets with cardamom and sugar. Henry listened, truly listened, and something warm settled in his chest. He didn't know anything about India before, but now he wanted to know more about the food, the festivals, the dances, all of it. "Want to see something?" Anika asked suddenly. She opened her notebook and flipped to the very back. There, she had drawn a tiny diagram of a traditional dance step. Arrows, circles, and footprints in different directions. "This is a step from a dance my mom taught me," she explained shyly. "I practice it sometimes so I don't forget." "That's awesome," Henry said truthfully. "Can you teach me?" Anika giggled again. "Maybe someday." By the time lunch ended, something had changed. Anika didn't look so alone anymore, and Henry felt proud, prouder than he expected. The next day, Sunnybrook Primary School announced a Culture Day project. Each class had to prepare something that celebrated diversity: foods, crafts, music, anything at all. Most kids in Henry's class looked unsure at first. What would they make? Who knew anything about other cultures? Then Mrs. Thompson turned to Anika. "Would you like to help us think of ideas?" Anika hesitated. Everyone was watching her. She bit her lip nervously. I caught her eye and nodded encouragingly. Slowly, Anika stood. "Maybe," she began softly, "maybe we can learn a small dance, a simple one from India. It's easy and fun." The class perked up. Dancing sounded exciting. "Yes, please," Lily said. "Teach us," Marcus added. Anika looked relieved and a little proud. During practice time, the entire class pushed back their desks to make space. Anika stood at the front, her hands trembling slightly at first. But then she remembered the steps she had practiced so carefully at home. Her confidence grew. She showed them how to move their feet in small patterns, how to turn their wrists gracefully, how to keep rhythm with gentle steps. Henry tried his best, though he kept tripping over his own shoelaces. Lily spun too fast and bumped into the bookshelf. Marcus forgot the steps and ended up inventing his own version, which made everyone laugh, including Anika. By the end of practice, the whole class was buzzing with excitement, and Anika stood tall, her smile wide and bright, like she finally belonged. Culture Day arrived quickly. When the students performed their short dance, parents clapped along, teachers beamed proudly, and Anika's mom wiped a joyful tear from her eye. Afterward, dozens of people told Anika how beautiful her dancing was. She didn't hide behind her braid anymore. She laughed freely, she talked with classmates, she answered questions with excitement. And Henry felt that same warm feeling again, the one that came from knowing he had done something that mattered. Kindness truly was like a bridge, and today, everyone had crossed it.
What a lovely story we heard today. I could almost see Anika's colorful drawings and hear the music from her dance steps. Let me ask you something. What would you have done if you saw someone like Anika sitting alone at lunch? Would you sit with them like Henry did? Would you smile and say hello? And think for a moment, have you ever felt new somewhere? Maybe at school, on a team, or at a club. Remember how much it meant when someone showed you kindness? When we reach out to others, especially those who feel different or new, we help them feel seen and valued. And that tiny bit of compassion can change someone's whole day, sometimes even their whole life. Today's lesson is simple. Everyone deserves kindness, no matter their differences. When you choose compassion, you make the world a softer, brighter place.
Thanks for listening to today's Morning Ride story. I hope Henry and Anika's day at Sunnybrook Primary inspires you to look around your school today. Maybe there's someone who could use a smile, a hello, or a friendly spot at your lunch table. Little acts of kindness can make big differences. Have a great day at school and see you tomorrow on the Morning Ride Stories.